Good evening, everyone. I am here to tell you another story. I hope that you've enjoyed the ones that you've seen. I know there's a lot of different things out there to watch on our channel now, stories, and people have been posting Facebook Live experiments and lines and things like that. So I hope that you are kind of sampling everything and going back and watching what you enjoy. So I hope you're all doing well today. I hope you are enjoying the nicer weather. I thought it was beautiful out there today. You can say hello to my cat. This is Alfred, and he is very curious and insists on getting in the way all the time. So if you hear him in the background, that is why. So today I thought I would tell you the story Sylvester and the Magic Pebble, which is a story that I read a lot when I was a little girl, and I've always enjoyed it. So, once upon a time, there was a young boy, and his name was Sylvester. And what Sylvester liked to do most in all the world was to collect rocks. And he had a huge rock collection, and he had round rocks and big rocks and small rocks and metamorphic rocks and all different types of rocks. Any rock you can think of, he had kind of found in his life. And he liked to go down by the stream where there are lots of rocks and look through them and sort through them and pick one. Well, one day he was down on by the stream or riverbank, and he found a perfectly round red rock. It almost looked like a marble. It was so perfectly round. And he was very much in awe of it. And he was holding it and looking at it, and it started to rain. And he was feeling a little annoyed, and as he looked at the rock, he said, "Oh, I wish it would stop raining." And all of a sudden, it stopped. And it wasn't like it kind of stopped a little bit, it completely stopped. All of the raindrops just like evaporated midair. And that got him thinking. He was like, I wonder if this is a magic rock. And so he tried again, and he said, "I wish it would start raining again." And all of a sudden, the whole sky was covered with clouds, and there was thunder and lightning, and the rain just started pouring down on him. And he was like, "Oh my gosh, this is so exciting." But he thought it could be a coincidence. And so he put the rock or pebble down on the ground and said, "I wish it would stop again." And it kept raining. And so he picked it back up and said, "I wish it would stop raining." And it stopped again. And he was so excited. Can you imagine if you had found something that amazing where you could make a wish and it came true? And he was so excited by this that he started to run home. And he was thinking about all the different things that his mom and his dad and he could wish for, and how wonderful their lives were going to be, and how great this was. And he started to go through a field, and he ran into a lion. Now, he was so startled and so frightened and so absorbed in his thoughts that he didn't really think what he was wishing. And instead of saying, "Oh, I wish I were home," or "Oh, I wish that lion would turn into a strawberry," or "Oh, I wish that lion would disappear," he said, "I wish I were a rock." And he turned into a rock. And the pebble kind of rolled away from him. And now, here he is in the middle of the field, a rock. Now, the lion was very puzzled and kind of looked at him and sniffed around him and was like, maybe there's something wrong with me, because I thought I saw a little boy, and now the boy is gone. And so the lion kind of went off. Well, Sylvester, of course, realized his mistake almost immediately, and he said, "Oh, I wish I were a boy again." But of course, he couldn't turn back into a boy because he wasn't touching the pebble anymore. And so he got pretty sad. Well, meanwhile, at his house, his mom and dad were worried because he hadn't come home. And they went and they asked all his friends, and his friends didn't know where he was. And they looked all over the town, and they called the police, and everybody looked, and they just couldn't find him anywhere. And they were very sad, and they were very worried. And months and months and months passed. It was fall and it became winter and it was cold and snowy, and the snow would snow on him, and Sylvester was very sad and felt very hopeless because he didn't really see how he was ever going to get to be a little boy again. Like, this was terrible, and he slept a lot and he was really depressed, and his parents were very sad. And spring came and his parents said, "It's such a beautiful day out. We can't just sit at home and be sad all the time. We'll go outside and enjoy the beautiful weather." So they went outside, and they went to the very field where Sylvester was a rock. And they saw this big, beautiful rock, and they thought, this is the perfect place to have our picnic. And so they spread out their picnic cloth, and they put out their picnic, and they sat, and they were still very sad as they sat and thought about Sylvester. And Sylvester's father looked down on the ground, and he saw this beautiful, round, red pebble. And he picked it up, and he was like, "Oh my goodness, look at this. Sylvester would have loved this." And he very carefully put it on the table, or what he thought was the table, the rock. Sylvester woke up, and he heard his parents, and he knew it was them, and he thought, "Oh, I wish I was myself again." And suddenly he was, and the tablecloth fell off, and all of the picnic lunch went everywhere, all over the floor. And his parents didn't even care because they were so surprised and so happy to see him. And there was laughing, and there was tears, and there was hugging. And that went on for a very long time. And finally, Sylvester managed to tell them the story. And they were so amazed. And the father picked up the pebble and put it in his pocket. And they took Sylvester home to feed him real food, because their food was all over the ground. And their father took it home and put it away in the safe, because he said, "For now, we have everything we would ever want." And they all lived happily ever after. Now, I had a student ask me this weekend if he could ask questions after the story. And I think that's a wonderful idea. You obviously are welcome to leave questions here on the channel, and we'll try and revisit it and answer those questions as we come upon them. You also are welcome to have your parents email me their questions if you want to have them record you asking them. They can, and I'm happy to get back to you with answers to those questions. I guess another question that I would ask of all of you, if you want to check in or send me an email about your thoughts on this, my question to you would be, what would you wish for if you found a magic pebble? All right, I'm going to leave you for now, and I will try and come on again another time this week and tell you another story. Good night.